Hi everyone, welcome to ballet class today. My name is Tuan. I'm going to be teaching an absolute beginner class. I'm very excited to be exposing you to the world that is ballet today. I learned ballet when I was 16, so I have a lot of experience with what it's like to learn ballet late and to not have, the natural body and turnout and all these things that everyone says you need to have for it. I will teach you to work with what you do have, and we will make any modifications along the way if it's necessary. But today we are going to be going through a short and simple barre. And as we progress, we will be adding to our technique and we will be extending our combination. I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And yeah, let's get started. So before we get started with our plies, we are going to do a quick warm-up, and we usually will begin most classes with a warm-up before we get into plies. I am going to demonstrate what the combination for the warm-up looks like, and we will do it right and then left. Don't worry too much about memorizing what the combination is for now, just because I know the first class can always be very overwhelming, and I will call it out while the music's going on. So let me show you what it's going to look like. We are going to do half toe, full toe 4 times. Half toe, full toe, half toe, down, switch, half, full, half, down. Again, half, full, half, down, and half, full, half, down. And then we're going to do 8 count pedals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 count eleves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we will stretch to the right side to begin with for 4 counts. So down for 2 and up 3, 4, other side, 5, 6, 7, 8, right foot back, calf stretch for 8 counts. We'll stay here and count to 8, and then we'll switch, left foot back, count to 8, and then we'll come back, and then we'll just elevate, rise. We'll have our hands on our hips. We'll balance right here. So we will begin on the right side. Let's get started. Feet parallel. 6 and 7 and 8 and a half and full and half and down. Switch, half, full, half, down, half, full. This is the third one. And then the fourth one, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And let's pedal. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of cracks. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rise, down, rise, down. 5, 6, 7. Let's stretch to the right side. 1, 2, come up 3, 4, other side, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right foot back, really stretch into your calf here. Hold, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's come back. Feet parallel. And then we'll rise. Suck your abs or tummy in. Let's have hands on hips. Balance, balance. Good job. All right, let's do left side now. Feet parallel. 7 and 8. And half toe, full toe, half toe. Down. Switch. Half, full, half. We're really stretching our feet out right here, really pointing it. Last time. And down. And pedal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A lot of cracking for me. My knees are not happy. Up and down. Up and down, up and down, up. Let's stretch to the left side. 2, come up 3, 4, other side. left foot back, 2. I like to wiggle my hips around here, maybe do an arch, really stretch out the back of my leg. Switch. Now your right leg should be back. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Feet together, parallel. We'll come up, engage your abs. Hands on hips, balance. It could be a little bit tricky. Ooh, I stumbled a little bit. Good job. So now we are going to be moving on to plies. And plies are really, really fundamental to ballet, so it's very important that we understand what they are. So before we get into that, let's just talk about our feet positions very quickly, since we're going to be doing our plies using 3 of the positions. So first position looks like this. My feet is in a V shape, and then this is dictated by my turnout, which is essentially how much rotation can I keep using my butt. Sometimes first position can look a little bit narrower for some of us because we're just barely beginning ballet, and that's okay. As we take more classes, usually we gather better control of our muscles and we'll be able to turn out just a tiny bit more. But I wouldn't worry too much about doing something like this, like a 180 type of rotation. Most of us actually aren't able to do that. No matter how much ballet training we have, it's going to be really, really hard for a lot of us to get into 180 degrees for a turnout, and that's completely okay. You know, having this type of first position, even this, it's totally fine. I wouldn't worry about it too much for now. So again, first position, legs are straight, thighs are together, knees are together. Really, really holding this position. Holding first position actually takes quite a bit of work. We're going to make sure that we don't roll in, which means our feet does something like this, where a lot of the weight just tilts forward. We are going to make sure that our weight is evenly distributed on our foot. So again, if you got to narrow it down, your first position, this is perfectly okay. And if you point one of your foot, you set it sideways, this is second position. So again, this is first position. When you point and set one of your foot down and you're in an open position, this is second position. So second is just kind of an opened first. And then fifth position is if you go back to first and you put one heel in front of the other toe, this is fifth. And we will use this position in the next few lessons, but for now, we are usually going to stick with first instead of fifth. And fourth position is just fifth, but you have a little bit of space in between. All right, again, first position, second position, heel to toe, fifth position. And then when we did our warm-up, we had our feet parallel, and this is considered an unofficial position of ballet. It's called sixth position. Let's get started with our plie combination. So a plie means to bend in French, and we have 2 types of plie, demi-plies and grand plie. Demi means half, and grand means large. So a demi-plie, I think of it as kind of a half bend. This is what it looks like. And a grand plie is when you go all the way down. You have to go through the demi to come up. So what we are going to do in first position, second position, and fifth position is 2 demi-plies and then 1 grand plie. So it would look like 1 and 2, straighten, 3 and 4. Second time, 5 and 6, straighten, 7 and 8. It's time for the grand. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll point the right foot, set it down, get ready for second set. Demi and down and up, straighten. And again, demi and up, grand and demi, and then grand and demi, and then straighten. We'll point the right foot, set it to fifth. Again, 2 demis, 1 grand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. After that, we'll point to the side. We'll come back to first. And then what we are going to do is just a stretch to the right side for 4 counts, come back up. A stretch to the left side for 4 counts, come back up. And then we will elevate. And then instead of balancing with our hands on our hips, we are going to balance with our hands in first position. It's just right in front of the belly button. But if you're not feeling good about that, we can keep it here too. So again, 2 demis, 1 grand. First, second, fifth, you come back to first, you stretch to the side, and then you rise, and you balance, starting with this, or we can do hands in first position, right in front of the belly button. All right, ready? 6, 7, and 8. 2 demis. And up. This is the second one. Demi. Nice big triangle here. Up. And demi. Now go to grand, but you have to go through demi. Now point the right foot to the side. Set it down. Second position. Again. 1, 2, up, 3, 4, again. 6, up, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do grand. Demi, grand, demi, and strain. Point the right foot. We'll bring it to fifth. Nice. Let's reset. 1, 2, 3. This could be a little tricky. Make sure your knees are pointing to the side. 6, and strain all the way up. And demi, grand. Straight. Now point to the side again and set it to first. And we're going to stretch to the right side. Come up. This is nice. Really relax into it here. Catch your breath if you need to. And then we'll elevate. Hands on hips or in first position, depending on what you want. I'll start in hands on hips first, and then I'll move on to first. Hold the balance, hold the balance. Okay, I'll come down. Great, good job. Ready? 6, 7, 8, and knees to the side. Big triangle here. Don't let your knees fall forward. Push them to the side. Heels on the ground. Heels off the ground. Heels on the ground. Point the right foot. Really set it down. And demi. And up. Good. Abs engaged. Up. 1 grand. 1, 2. Demi. And then strain. Point the right foot. Let's move on to fifth. And demi. Good. And up. Both knees super straight here. It's gonna be a little bit tough and a little bit awkward, but you can do it. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Point. Settle back into first. Now get your nice stretches. To the left side. And up. Other side. Up. And we'll elevate. Again, hands on hips or hands in first position, right in front of the belly button. Like you're holding a really large beach ball. Balance. You can do it. Good job. And we'll come back down. Amazing. So for some of us, that may have been our first time turning out our legs for that long. And as many of us will later realize, it's probably not extremely comfortable to be turned out. But unfortunately, this is kind of the way ballet is. Everything you will be doing is going to involve turnout. And even though it's a little bit tricky at first, over time we will build the correct muscles to hold this position in place. I don't think it will ever be 100% comfortable, but it will definitely get easier. So don't worry too much if your butt is feeling funny or sore after after just plies. It's very natural. So now we are going to move on to tendus, and a tendu means to stretch in French, and what it looks like is just the stretch of the leg. So we are going to start in first position, and we are going to do 2 tendus each way in a pattern called en croix, which means in a cross. So I'll show it very quickly. This is half toe, full toe, and when you're in full toe, leg is completely stretched, half toe down. Again, half toe, full toe, half toe down to the side, half and full, and half and down again, half, full, half and down to the back, half and full, and half and down, and half and full, and half and down to the side again, half, full, half, down, and half, full, half, come back. And we will be doing 4 eleves, up and up and down. This is 3, down. This is 4, down. Now 4 plie releves, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. And we'll stay with our arm in first position, right in front of the belly button. And we'll balance and balance. And if we're feeling very brave, we'll float the arms up to 5th position, which is a position where it's just right on top of your head, a little bit forward. So this is what it looks like from the side. And make sure that we're not doing this, where kind of the tummy comes out. We're perfectly straight up here. Stomach is engaged and in. First position, and up, floating to 5th. And you should be able to, if you look up just a little bit, you should be able to see your fingers if you move them. Make sure they're not directly on top of your head, because it's gonna throw your balance backwards. So that was tendu. And again, we are doing them in the en croix pattern, which is a very common pattern for ballet. It is front, side, back, and then side again. So 2 tendus each way, 2 tendu, 2 tendu to the back, 2 tendu to the side, 2 tendus, and then we will be doing 4 rises, and then after that it's 4 plie releves, and then we'll balance in first position. It's okay if you completely have forgotten the combination, I'll call it out. First position, ready. 1, 2, half and close. Half toe, full toe, half toe to the side. Half stretch, half come back. Half tendu, half toe, come back. Half toe, full, half and back again. Half, full, half to the side. And up and back. Half toe, stretch, half toe. 4, up, up. This is the 3rd one. 4th one. Plie, releve, plie, releve. This is the 3rd one. This is the last one. Hold, balance. Could be a little tricky. Float the arms up if you're feeling brave. Balance. And come down. Great. So before we move on to the left side, I just want to talk very quickly about the eleves and releves at the end. I'm going to try to just not talk too much at the beginning so that we can just keep the class moving, but I'll definitely be throwing in some technique tips here and there, and this is one of those moments. So when you elevate or releve from first position, you have to make sure that you keep your legs turned out, even though your heels are no longer on the ground. So when I set my heels back down, I'm not narrowing my first position. But if I wasn't holding onto my turn at all, what would happen is this. I would rise, and the moment I would rise, my heels would turn back just a little bit. And if I come back down, it looks like I'm back in parallel. But if you hold on to your first position and your turnout, when you rise, your heels don't turn back. And when you lower, your heels come back to where they were. So let's try our best to make sure that we're not losing turnout with the eleves and the plie releves, okay? It can be a little tricky at first, but I'm sure you can get it. Ready? Left side. Half, full, tendus. Remember, we have to stretch to the side. Half, full, half. Half, full, half to the back. Half, full, half, back. Half, full, half, first position, and half, and full, and half. Close. Half, full, half. Up. Don't lose the turnout. Up. Hold on to it. Squeeze your butt. Plie and squeeze. Plie and squeeze. Large diamond. Large diamond. Come up. Now balance. Good. Float the arms up. Keep the abs in. Don't fall backwards. Good. And still hold the turnout as you come down. Amazing. Good job, guys. We are going to move on to Degages, which means to disengage. They look very similar to a Tendu, but except they are going to be off the ground. And we are going to be performing Degages in the en croix pattern. So let me perform the combination. It is Tendu, lift, Tendu, close, Degage, Degage, and close to the side, Tendu, lift, Tendu, and close, Degage, Degage, to the back, and Tendu, and lift, and Tendu, Degage, Degage, last time, and Tendu, and lift, and Tendu, and close, Degage, Degage. Again, you should really hear brushing against the ground when you're doing this because you're using the floor so much and you're really pushing off and just lifting off. And remember, a dégagé doesn't go too high, so ow, that hurts. Just hit this little knob here. But a dégagé doesn't go too high. It's only 3 inches or maybe even a tiny bit less off the ground. Let's get started on the right side. First position, please. Really squeezing the legs and thighs together. And tendu, lift off. Touch and close. Dégagé. Dégagé. And tendu, lift, tendu, close. Dégagé. To the side. Now go back. Tendu, dégagé, tendu, close, dégagé, close, dégagé. Side, tendu, lift, tendu, close, dégagé, dégagé, close. Good job. All right, let's do this again on the left side. Heels together, knees together, legs together. Ready? Left. Point, lift, point, close. Off the ground. Off the ground. Side, point, lift, point, first position, and brush. Really listen to that. Brush. Back, up, point, close. Dégagé, dégagé. Side, up, and close. Dégagé, dégagé. Great. You guys are doing amazing so far. We just learned pliés, tendus, and dégagés, and now we are going to move on to ronde jambes. And in French, ronde jambe means round of the leg. I just think of it as leg circles, really. So we are going to start in first position, and this is what a ronde jambe looks like. We'll point to the front, to the side, bring it all the way back, first position. Again, front and side and back, first position. Third time, front, side, back, and close. Fourth time, last one, and back and close. After doing 4 ronde jambes en dehors, which means away from the leg, because we're moving away from this working leg, we will reverse it and do 4 ronde jambes en dedans, which means towards the working leg. I know it's going to be a little bit funky to get used to. The terminology in ballet is always a little tiny bit confusing, but I promise it just will get a lot easier with time. Don't be too worried if you're having a difficult time memorizing all the terminologies and all the words. I'll definitely keep reminding you as we progress on. So again, 4 ronde jambes on day or, so that means away from the working leg 4 times. And after that, 4 ronde jambes coming from the back. And then after that, we will plie, lift the heels up, rise, down, reverse, rise, plie, set the heels down, and straighten. And then we'll elevate, and we'll balance right here. First position. To the front, carry side, carry back, first. Again, front, side, back, first. Front, side, back, first. Last time. Back, first, reverse. Front, close, tendu, back, carry side, front. This is the third one. Close and back, side, front. Ready? Plie, lift, straighten, down, reverse, up, plie, up, and rise, balance, balance, balance. It's a long balance here, guys. Keep staying. This is a test. Remember, squeeze your butt. Hold the turn out. You have a smile on your face. Even though it's hard and you're feeling a little wobbly, it's okay. 6, 7, ooh, almost fell over. And we'll come back down. You already know the drill. Left side. Ready? First position. 6, 7, 8. And tendu front, side, back, first. And front. Do you remember what direction this is? It's on your away from the leg. Last one. Front, side, back, reverse, and back, side, front, close in first. Again, back, side, front, close in first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. And plie, lift your heels, straighten, down, reverse, plie, heels down, and elevate. Almost forgot the word. Balance, balance. It helps if you smile. It's okay if you're a little bit wobbly. I'm feeling a little bit wobbly myself. That's okay. Make sure your knees are straight, elbows are up, and hands are in front of your belly button. And we'll come down to first. So the next combination we are going to do is going to be a coupe tendu combination. And a coupe is just going to be a wrap of the ankle combined with a tendu, which is a stretch of the leg, which we've already learned before. This is what it's going to look like. We're starting in first position. And then there are going to be 2 ways that I'm going to teach you how to coupe or wrap your foot. If you're starting in first position, and if you just wrap your knees facing sideways, your heel is right in front of the ankle and the toes is wrapped backwards, right? It's just right on the ankle. And the second way to do this is to just take all of that and put the heel and attach it right behind that leg. So again, this is the first way to coupe or to wrap your foot, and this is the second way. There's actually another way where it's in front. Since we're just beginners, I won't confuse you too much with the other ways of doing things, but for now, let's just stick with wrapping on the ankle and wrapping behind the ankle, all right? So again, there are 2 ways of couping your foot, and which way you choose really depends on what you just did or where you will go. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but let me just go ahead and start with the combination. I feel like that would make things a little bit simpler. So we're going to start in first position. We are going to do one coupe, and then we are going to do 2 tendus after that. So it's going to be coupe on the ankle, hold, and point, and close, and tendu, and close, and tendu, and close. Now we're going to go sideways. So we're going to coupe to the front or on the leg, hold, point, and close, and tendu, and close, and tendu, and close. This is where it's going to get tricky. We are going to go back, so that means to go back, we should coupe to the back of the ankle. So coupe and hold and point and close, tendu and close, tendu and close. Even though we're going to go to the side, since we just came from the back, we actually have to coupe in the back of the ankle, hold and then point, close, tendu, close, tendu, close. So it can be a tiny bit confusing, but again, the en croix position really depends on where you are going or where you just came from. So when you go front, you are going to be couping on the ankle, tendu front, but when you go side, it can really depend. You can coupe on the ankle, on the back of the ankle, but since we just came from the front, we will coupe to the front again to go side. But if we came from the back, we will coupe in the back of the ankle to go side. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, please, please, please do not be worried about it. I know it's a little bit confusing. I'm throwing a lot of things at you today, and for a lot of us, it may be your first or even second experience with ballet. Don't worry too much. I will call it out as we do the combination, okay? So let's start with first position and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's slow. Point, close, point to the side. Coupe on the leg, hold, point, close, tendu, close, tendu, close. So we're going to go back, behind, hold, tendu, close, tendu, close, tendu, close. We just came from the back, so coupe back, hold, tendu, close, tendu, close, tendu, close. Good job, guys. First position, and 8, and coupe on the leg, point, close, tendu, close, tendu, close, and coupe on the leg, hold, point, close, tendu side, tendu side. Go back, so coupe the back of the ankle, hold, tendu, close, tendu, close, tendu. Since we just came from the back, coupe back still, tendu and close, tendu and close, tendu, and that's it. We're almost there, guys. Good job. Now we are going to learn Developpe, which means to develop or to grow. So we are going to Developpe, which looks like this. I'm going to move a little bit away from the bar so I don't kick it. And you extend forward and point and close. So what's happening is I'm going through coupe, hitting passe, which technically means to pass. It's kind of like a pass-through position. And then you extend your foot or your leg, you point, and you close. And I'm going to do that in the en croix pattern. So front, side, back, side. Again, it's going to be coupe and hold and passe and hold. Attitude, which is this position, an open, funky kind of position. Attitude, hold, extend, and close. And 1, and hold, and passe, and hold, and attitude, hold, extend, point, close. To the back. Now remember, we have to coupe back and hold, passe. As you can see, this passe, my whole foot is behind my working knee, and hold. Attitude, remember, knee up for attitude, hold, extend, point, close. Last time, to the side. Since I just came from the back, I have to coupe, the back of that working ankle, hold, passe, hold, attitude, hold, extend, point, close. And as you can see, this Developpe combination is really about holding your poses and hitting every single position very clearly. I will break down to Developpe again. I'll do it to the side. Coupe, that's one of the positions. Hold. And then if you passe, this is the second position. You'll hold. The attitude, you'll just open a tiny bit, making sure the knee's still pointing to the side. You're still turned out. You're not doing this. Knee still side. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Let's get started. Remember, Developpes in the en croix pattern. 6, 7, and 8. And coupe. Hold. Up to passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. And coupe on the leg. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Coupe in the back. Hold. Passe in the back of the knee. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Last time from the back. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Amazing. Good job, guys. Developpes are really hard. A lot of us will be tempted to lift our leg super duper high, and I know we all want to get there, but I'm purposely doing this very slowly and breaking down all the positions in the Developpe so that we can get that first. And after we work on getting the positions crystal clear is when we'll work on raising our extension. For now, if your whole entire leg 45 degrees, perfect. Don't even worry about it. 45 is just fine for this combination. Just make sure that's even throughout. If you're gonna do 45, stick to 45 the whole way. If you're gonna do 90, stick to 90 degrees the whole entire time. All right? For me, it's a little bit tricky because I have this front bar, so I can't really extend too much without kicking it. So the front's gonna be a little bit wonky for me. Ready? You can do it. Developpes are fun. And coupe on the leg. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Extend a tiny bit. Hold. Straighten both legs. Point. Close. On the leg. Hold. Passe. And hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close to the back. Coupe back. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. And close. From the back, so coupe back. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. If your legs are shaking like mine, don't worry about it, because you're done. Good job. All right, so now we are going to be moving on to the last combination we are going to do at the bar. I did this exercise countless of times. It was when I was getting my ankles and legs ready for point by building up a lot of strength. Even though it could be a little bit tough, this is going to be a great, amazing exercise, I promise. So we are going to be doing 8 eleves. So this is what it's going to look like. Up and down and up and down and up and down, up and down. 8 times. And then we're going to do a plie, releve, 8 times again. So let's pretend like I just did 8. I'm going to lift my leg and just completely have all my weight on my right leg. After 8 plie releves, I'm going to do the same thing now, just on my right leg. Up and down and up and down all the way to 8 times. Let's pretend like I did that. Then plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, 8 times. And then the music will end, and then we will do the other side. 8 eleves, 8 plie releves, lifting the right leg the second time around and using your left leg to do all that work for 8 eleves and 8 plie releves. All right, I will call it out. Let's get started. Feet parallel, please. 7, 8. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Straight legs the whole time for this. Up, down, up, down, up. Knees together. Up, down, plie, up, plie. This is 2. This is 3, 4, plie, up 5, plie, 6, plie, 7, 8, one leg, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, light touches, up, down, up now, plie, releve, plie, it's tough, releve, plie, releve, don't spring, plie, use your muscles, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. Whew, that was hard, but I'm sure you made it through, and if you didn't, that's totally okay. We are going to build up on this. It's really, really crucial that we try our best for this exercise. It's very, very great for strengthening our ankles. All right, this is the end of the torture, I promise. Left side now, ready? Feet parallel, squeezing everything together. In. 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, 7, 8, plie, oops, almost want to do one leg, 2, plie, up, plie, up, plie, up, plie, up, plie, up. One leg now. Great. Been doing this 20 times. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Tummy in, up, down, up. Now, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. Last one, releve. Woo! Amazing job, guys. We're all done with the bar. Let's meet on the ground for just a tiny bit of groundwork, and then our lesson will be over. So now we are going to move in on a little bit of floor work. The first thing we are going to do is a few sit-ups. I know they're not the most exciting things in the world, but they're very, very important. Having a really strong core is crucial for almost everything in ballet. So like everything else we've done so far, we are going to do our sit-ups to music. So we are going to be doing 16 sit-ups, and then right foot on top, 8 to the side, and then switching left, and then we'll do 8. And that's going to be the end of it. It's going to take a minute, but we are going to have amazing results from this exercise. All right, let's get started. All right, let's start on the ground. 7, 8. Up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 8 more. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Woo! You can do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. Up, up, up. Almost there. Woo! This burns, but in the best way possible. You're done. Whew. Awesome job, guys. As you can tell, I haven't done these in a while, but I used to have a ballet teacher that made me do sit-ups every single class that I had with her. And yes, it wasn't really fun, but I realized that my pirouettes and everything I did in class, because of the ab work she made us do, I was always so well balanced because of that. And now I will forever incorporate ab work into my ballet routines because it just has amazing results. I'm sorry that I'm talking to you guys on the ground. It's just way more comfortable there. All right, everyone, so we're moving on to the last part of class today. We are just going to do a few free stretches. You can follow along with what I'm doing, but usually at the end of class, I just like to give people a little bit of time to do whatever stretches they want to do, because usually folks already have a routine that they have in mind. If you don't have a routine, you can go ahead and follow along with me. It's just going to be a little bit of chit chat and stretching. So I'm going to take my mic off just so it's a little bit easier. I like starting on the ground. I don't really have a specific routine that I follow. It changes quite often, but I do like to start off all my stretches with just touching the ground and bending my knees. It feels great for the back of my legs. And then I'll bend one knee and really push my weight into the other hip. Straighten, then I'll bend, and then straighten. I'll try to fold myself like a pretzel, just in half, bending my knees, but also straightening myself out again. Whew, this is great. You guys did an amazing job today in your first class. You should be proud of yourself. I'll go into downward dog, sticking my bum up and straight into the air. Again, this is for the back of my legs. Super, super tight. Walk it out a tiny bit. I'm really proud of you guys for starting your first lesson today. I know ballet is always very intimidating. I know that sometimes it's not easy being kind of new to something when maybe everyone else in class seems like they've been doing this forever. And for adults, usually, there is really no real introduction to ballet. You're kind of thrown into a beginner class, and hopefully you can follow along with everyone else. I know that's kind of what happened to me, at least, but my story is a little bit more complicated because at one point I did dance with kids, a lot of kids. I was 16 and just kind of, I think I was dancing with maybe 10 or 12-year-olds at that time. Very, very embarrassing, but you know, made me stronger. This is a great, great stretch to do, the frog stretch. Really great for your burnout, something we worked on a lot today. As you can see, I'm really a big fan of folding myself in half. Have really, really tight legs, and I like making sure that I'm nice and stretched out at the end. And then I have a lot of lower back runs, so I tend to do some of my PT exercises too right after class. But, you know, given the whole situation with COVID, haven't taken class in a really, really long time. But this, just moving my knees side to side feels amazing. It releases my lower back. Whew. Just some light stretching at the end is always really, really good for you. Even if you're not doing anything intense like splits, completely okay. I used to be really intense at stretching. I had a timer on my phone, so I would hold every single position I did for a certain amount of seconds and make sure I do my splits, and I'll hold each side for a minute or so. And, you know, I was really flexible because of that, but I'm realizing that it just took way too much time. Now that I'm older, that's not a thing I could do anymore. It's just so much work. Now I'm going to my straddle, or I'm going to be going to my straddle. Just making sure that I feel comfortable in it before I lay down. Easing yourself into stretching is really, really important. And stretching isn't really about, I would say, what most people think it might be about, which is kind of a pulling of your muscles apart. I would say it's more about getting your muscles to relax so that you are able to kind of have it more malleable. When I started ballet, I was really, really inflexible, but took a little bit of work. I stretched every single day for around 10 to 15 minutes. Just did a really casual routine of some lunges and a lot of touching the ground. A lot of staying into splits. Really, really tight. And even if you don't have your splits and you're kind of up here, just make sure you hold yourself up, support yourself, and eventually you'll lower down into it. Splits are always kind of a funny thing for a lot of people. The front splits, so for example, the left and the right side splits, or the left and right front splits, even though it seems very hard if you don't have it, it's actually something that a lot of us can get, mainly because it's a more forgiving stretch. So some of it comes from the hips, some of it comes from the hamstrings, and you know, if you don't have flexibility or a lot of room for stretch in one area, you can compensate using the other area. But the middle splits, the strap, which is this is gonna be tough. I've been doing ballet for a long time, and there is kind of no way for me to get my legs perfectly straight, just because my body just wasn't built that way. And if I did get my legs to be perfectly straight, I'd probably injure myself and it wouldn't look very good. So don't be too hard on yourself if you can't get this stretch. It still feels good to just do what you can with what you have. Don't spend a lot of time, you know, being upset at why you don't have the perfect ballet body, because I definitely did that. But I love ballet so much. I love teaching it. It's one of my favorite things, really. That was kind of a big thing for me as a young adult. Teaching it and making it accessible to everybody. Love that. All right. And we're done for today. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned a few things. I know it can be overwhelming at first when you first begin something, but don't worry, if you keep at it, it gets easier just every single day. All right, I'll see you in the next class. Bye.